Submerged castle, sub-level 5. Oh, is this already the end? Oh, I didn't think I was this close to the end. I thought there was multiple floors to this. I could have sworn there was. Okay, that's our way out. Not out, that's our way to a fight. That one guy, wow. That one guy took down that entire wall by himself. Beep, beep. Okay, that's one. I thought there was more of these. Yes, because now we have Purple Pikmin, something we could not have had for the longest time. Purple Pikmin with their super strong ability of that, like, sumo drop. Okay, good job there, guys. Okay, separate. I want nothing more than the purple guys and the Boldman. We'll go out here. There we go. There we go! And I just lost a bunch of them. I lost all my Boldmen. Because if you notice, he's now taking on a physical form. Because we're throwing the purple guys, he does not like the sound of the thud. Or maybe it's the vibrations. The way if we just keep this up, I just lose more and more Pikmin. There we go! With that, we just got rid of his only way of attacking, and he's not over yet. He cannot attack us, though, so he is essentially helpless. Yep! Come on, guys. There we go. The annoying guy is finally gone. With that, we get his item. Ba-ba-da-ba-da! Processing. How curious. The Wraith completely vanished, but what was it? Surface object scans indicate the presence of a bright red component. Yes, this is a very nice item to have. Anytime you can actually get into the game. The issue is that you have to get all the way to the blue Pikmin before you can get this guy. They got ourselves another megaphone. This one is the Professional Noise Maker. How insulting. This object's coloring is more eye-catching than my own hull. I shall connect it to the alarm clock our esteemed president was fond of. Processing complete. I have refitted both objects into a pluckaphone. Now, simply blowing your whistle will inspire sprouts to pop out of the ground. Very, very useful to have. Honestly, it's probably one of the most useful items in the entire game. Now comes the sad part, though. We're gonna have to say goodbye to our Boldman. I came in, I think, with 60, so that just proves how much we lost. Oof. Oh well. We're gonna have to be able to survive down here without us, I guess. Poor little guy. But what is done is done. We shall return to the surface. I feel so bad for them. I'm so upset they can't come with us. But then again, we don't have a place for them, so... Also, this place, despite its complexity, is a very cheap dungeon. Not even 700. It's only 690 Pokos. And that's for everything. Yeah, we don't need to see all this. Thank you, Mr. Motorcycle, thank you. Yeah, we got a lot of treasures. Holy cow, did we get a lot. You lost one blue. That's our only downside today. We lost 3 to explosion. And we lost 41 today! Oof! I think that also calls the Boldman into account, but yeah. Oliver! You'll soon be promoted to manager! Only a small bit of our debt remains! You've done great! As if I! No one debt is a debt collector like I do! I'm a pro! Gonna keep that in mind for later, boss, in case I have to use this against you somehow. Okay, what's that? There's only at least one more above ground treasure to collect, and a ton in the Piklopedia to go over with. Starting off with the Boldman of the Pikmin family. This loathsome creature is in fact a parasitic form of Pikmin that has infected a Bulborb. Unlike Pikmin that nests in Pikmin onions, this parasitic relative spends its life outside the body of the host, usually a Bulborb. Juveniles fall in line and mimic the actions of their parents until maturing to full independence. By burying its rude-like limbs into the nervous system of the host, Bulborbs, and infusing it with natural hormones excretions, the Boldman is able to control virtually all of the host's body's functions. However, the host's voracious appetite seems impossible to suppress. The Watery Blowhog from the Blowhog family. A variant subspecies of the fiery blowhog, the watery blowhog lacks several of the dominant genes necessary for the production of fire-producing catalysts, and thus expels jets of non-flammable liquid. This subspecies appear to have only recently evolved. However, the hereditary traits of this variant are dominant and highly robust. Its population is rapidly increasing. The bumbling snitch bug of the Serapinid family. This is a variety of snitch bug. Its most interesting characteristic is that it likes to snatch leaders, yet bearing wanton carelessness or incompetence, leaders are not easily captured. Any leader caught by this creature is clearly an idiot, which is why this creature is also known as the exposing snitch bug. There are several known variations of the snitch bug, but research has stagnated despite it being such an interesting specimen. The Greater Spotted Jellyfloat. Of the jellyfloat family, vivid pink colorization is the most noticeable characteristic of this floating life form. This immigrant species is not native to the region, having appeared to have recently arrived on wind currents. The luminescent organ in the head attracts prey, which it then sucks up and consumes with its lower orifices. Unlike jellyfish, the jellyfloat tentacles do not have nematodes, so there is no danger of touching them. The lesser spotted jellyfloat. From the jellyfloat family, this native jellyfloat is indigenous to this region. Unfortunately, it is currently endangered, so its habitat is being overwhelmed by hostile immigrant species. The careening Duriegee Bug, that's what you're actually called. From the Duriegee Bug family, this creature floats effortlessly through the air using gas-filled balloons. Both its appearance and its nature are antagonistic, and is the only variant of the species in this ecosystem. It may be best to consider the possibility that it somehow wandered into this ecosystem from an entirely alien one. Positive proof does not exist at this point, but that is how the creature is currently classified. The Anode Drivel. From the Drivel family, members of the Drivel family are known for carrying objects of astonishing size on their backs and mimicking them. The Anode Drivel is one species in this family. They seem to have no particular preference for which objects they carry on their back, as they will carry anything they can lift. They boast an internal organ that generates electrical charge, which the Anode Drivel releases when it senses danger. The Moonge Drivel, from the Drivel family, is one member of the insect family, known for mimicking objects by carrying them on their backs. These insects often carry the carcasses of other life forms on their backs, but apparently this is not for the purpose of transporting them as food, but instead as another example of their mimic behavior. The Moonge Drivel produces two different chemical compounds within its body, which form poisonous gas when mixed and expelled. This gas is used only for self-defense. The Volatile Drivel. The Volatile Drivel is one member of the insect family known for mimicking objects by carrying them on their backs. The Drivel family exhibits a most unusual characteristic, whereby this creature's behavioral pattern actually changes based upon the object the creature carries on its back. The Volatile Drivel has one of the most potent attacks of all species within the Drivel family, due to its habit of carrying explosive devices. Approach with caution and/or body armor. Yes. The Unmarked Spectralids. From the Flitterby family, when strolling through the forests of this planet, clouds of these creatures are seen dancing overhead. Like flower petals drifting in the breeze, the sight of flitterbys dancing in the lush green undergrowth is unforgettable. Flitterby collectors drool over specimens, collect sample boxes lined up in order, highlighting the slight color gradient change from blue to red to yellow. Such items fetch particularly high prices at auction. And yet there was only 3 Pokos. Well, then again, if 100 Pokos is like an entire life savings, then I guess that makes sense. The Ranging Royster. From the Mollusk family, the species of the mollusk has shed its shell through the process of evolution. What appears as a flower-shaped protrusion on the back actually functions as its gills. The Deranging Bloister ensnares small animals with its sticky tentacles, reels them in, and consumes them. Observers have noted that this creature exhibits a keen interest in flashing objects. It is often tried to capture and ingest these objects. Researchers and explorers equipped with flashing identification beacons should be wary when in close proximity to this dangerous predator. Yes, that is why, whenever we went against it, whoever was in the lead as the captain was the one that it tried to attack. And now, the Water Wraith. Water Wraith of an unknown family. All that is known about this creature stems from the few sightings deep underground. All reported sightings feature the same core set of details. A giant, vicious form with a clear, hazy sheen, not unlike hard candy. One theory holds that it may be the ectoplasmic incarnation of a kind of psychic phenomenon. But, as is usually the case with such theories, it is very difficult to prove. All witness reports being suddenly overcome with fear upon sighting the creature's appearance, approaching a state of panic and near insanity. In fact, every report contains an inordinate amount of extreme vague details, which has led to the suspicion that exhaustion and fear have caused some simple-natured phenomenon to be viewed as a living creature. I'm just like throwing them a mile away, wow. And now back to this. The Onion Replica. This looks like one of the Hockatate's famous sweet onions. Come to think of it, I gave the onion its name because it looked just like a Hockatate onion to avoid confusion. I'll call this vegetable an Onion Replica. Now for the leaf. The Arboreal Flibery. The ship seems to think this leaf would be a smash hit among naturalist interior designers. I just think it looks and feels like a soft blanket in the interest of science discovery. I better give it a test run. The compelling cookie. My spacesuit filter seems to be malfunctioning. I can't suppress the sweet, syrupy smell pervading this cavern. If I don't find a way to neutralize it fast, it's going to drive me to spoil my diet. This treasure-alluring aroma seems to attract unwelcome attention from insects. If the ship hears anything about this, I'll complain endlessly about having to store it. I'd better keep this discovery to myself. A while back, I didn't sleep for days. My stomach was roiling, and my head was cloudy. I couldn't rally any motivation. The only thing I could muster is a sigh. Then I found this mattress. When I reclaimed it, I fell asleep immediately and had the sweetest dream. After a long day of walking, my joints began to pain me. I need a massage. The Diet Humor. My ship can't analyze taste, so I've taken a burden upon myself. It's a rough job, but it's up to the captain to step up and volunteer for the most grueling duties. Taste good. I could eat this treat endlessly. I'd better test that hypothesis. When I was a young lad, I looked everywhere for love. I guess that's why I smile when I see young people laughing together. Okay, odd note, but okay. Some people in this world can eat anything and never get fat. It makes me so jealous I eat a cookie crumb and suddenly I'm saddled with a buffer of blubber. To make matters worse, my wife and daughter are always scrutinizing my diet. Can't a man enjoy a pastry wheel in peace? The whole research today was filled with a sascarin scent. Just sniffing it put me at the risk of developing a cavity. Ugh. I don't think I can eat any more sweets for a while. Wait, who am I kidding? I encountered all kinds of grotesque, inedible creatures on this strange planet. However, there's an area in the perplexing pool region that's chock full of tasty critters. The Vorpal Platter. The monomolecular edge of this disastrous platter is sharp enough to split subatomic particles. I found it deep in an underground complex covered with slippery ceramic tiles. I learned there that I can blow my whistle by pressing betas in my Pikmin from being burned, drowned, or poisoned. This chrome drop has a very strange shape. It's bent and smooth, except for a sharp prong at the end of it. The ship insists that it must be one of the 3 sacred treasures of Skamadoosh, but I think it's just a kitchen sink. When I look at the president, I can't see myself climbing the corporate ladder to be a manager. You gotta be an inhuman, heartless villain. That trait allows them to flog their dedicated workers without mercy and still sleep at night. I feel that the same merciless cruelty radiating from this metallic altar. I wonder if it was once used for dark, unspeakable ceremonies, or perhaps it was once the desk of a corporate boss. I'll never know. We found a weird item today. Wetting the surface produces an endless force of bubbles. It's amazing, but I will take further investigation to determine the practical use. It may take a young and playful mind to unlock its secrets. When I return home, I think I'll show it to my kids. A bar of soap. Every day, it's nothing but work, work, work. Sometimes I need to just get it off my mind, so I set this thing up in a stage and taught the Pikmin a song and dance routine. Red, purple, white, yellow, and blue Pikmin dance in perfect unison and sang their little hearts out. When I return home, I should take up a career in dance instruction. I can't conceive of how a creature with teeth this big could have ever lived. Emperor Boblax, that bloated meat whale, is the only creature I've seen even half that size. The only thing I can do is hope I never encounter something that massive. The first time I laid eyes on this hideous treasure, I thought it was a giant aquatic monster. It took me several terror-filled seconds to realize it's just an ugly statue. What a relief. I was ready to run all the way back to Hockatate. This object resembles the first treasure I found on this planet, so it holds a certain sentimental value to me. However, I've just noticed that its size is slightly different. Sometimes I should take the time to read my previous treasure log book. It's good to reflect on the past sometimes. This cryptic item inhibits an unbelievable quantity of stored dormant energy. The civilization that created this must have advanced tremendously when it discovered this powerful new energy source. If I were to take this technology back home, how would it affect the future of Hockatate? Yesterday, the ship accused me of sampling all the food we've been collecting. That ship has a lot of nerve. Everyone makes mistakes. Sometimes desire overpowers reason. At least, that's what I told myself when I sampled this salty snack. This is a truly heart-wrenching design. I've never been this moved by a piece of art. Every time I view it, I can't stop crying. The ship mocks me by squirting the engine coolant at me, but it's obviously just jealous that it can't shed any tears. This strange object makes me want to dance. I can't fight it. Must dance. Hey, this isn't so bad. I've been packing on the pounds, and this could be a great way to get some exercise. 1, 2, cha-cha-cha! There are many things I've encountered on this planet that defy explanation. According to this ship's analysis, this object is extremely valuable. Maybe I'll buy it. I'm not so sure, though. I get the feeling the ship is swindling me. Nah, the ship would never scare me. I'm the captain! I've noted that some of the objects we collected have undeniable similarities. Perhaps these treasures were revered by an ancient civilization. Today we searched a deep underground structure that was completely covered in tile. I have no idea what it was originally intended for, but I've decided to call it the shower room. Deep within, I clashed with a sleek bug that coughed up this conical curiosity. I originally took a team of blue Pikmin on an expedition to explore a submerged cavern. While exploring this watery cavern, I encountered some very strange phenomena. It was such a strange place that I'm still wondering if it was all just a dream. I found this curious treasure at the end of the cavern, so if it was just an illusion, I'm even more confused. I knew that confusing place, that submerged castle. So, much talking, but that is all of the underground caverns taken care of in the perplexing pool, with only above ground treasures left to collect. So let's collect the remaining above ground treasures. Onward!